But there's another perspective that I think is actually getting traction, based on some of the work that I've been doing, is essentially thinking about that there is a lot of rare events that happen and rare things that cannot be explained. They're very difficult to put together, and they kind of match up in weird, random ways that are never really obvious. And in fact, I think much of my field that studies performance is getting more and more persuaded by this perspective. I'm starting to see more people interested in the sort of idea of randomness and luck and things along the line that things just happen and you can't explain it very well. And I wish that there was a mechanism for why things actually happen, but and there may always be after the fact, but you can't forecast, you can't think about how those things will actually work out, right? It's like part of the reason why I'm not necessarily scared about artificial intelligence is because it does a really poor job. It's okay, but it does a kind of a poor job of connecting these kind of weird, crazy, random things that you would never see. And it often takes both incredible amount of insight and working with things and getting pushed back and bumping into things, but also, just working at things for a long time. This sort of combined aspect of production and as well as sort of randomness that happens. And that is very difficult to predict. It's very difficult to quantify. And it's often not very clear in terms of what this all means in terms of, productivity and in terms of being a star. One of the things that we know is that you can increase your probability of becoming a star by having the right people, getting the right education, those kind of things. But at the same time, there's not a great explanation beyond that allows you to get to that moment. And so a lot of people, including myself, that are kind of in the game, still going, I'm moving away from that. And I'm moving away from, I don't think anybody is really particularly a star more than anybody else. I think it is about realizing that you're good enough and your explanations and your thoughts are amazing no matter what happens. And that's in this world of, in the former world of productivity and getting things done, I think you can easily identify stars. But in this other world where there's lots of randomness, there's a lot of idiosyncratic things that happen, there is just a lot of interesting artifacts that pop up that never can be explained. So for example, a whole host of PhD researchers might have exited the market because of COVID, because it was just very, very difficult. And we have no real way to explain that in a good way. So if we take this other perspective, that a lot of randomness happens and everybody has a unique say, and their unique say is interesting, and we just have to capture it and figure out how to link to it and figure out how to have people feel good. I think it's a far different combination. It's a far different way of viewing the world. It's also a far different and more productive way to view a lot of the things that we go through, where we can resonate and say, you know what, that person's idea is incredible. They might have only had one or two incredible ideas, but they're incredible. And we have to look at them for that.